Well, down here in Australia, the sun never sets. Hell, that may be Alaska. I don't know where I'm at, but the sun never sets. Oh, God, never sets on me, that's for sure. This is Sir David, and I just wanted to do another video that I've been thinking about. For years, I've been thinking about this, and I thought, well, finally, I'm brave enough to say something, because there's so many of you that know me. When you're on my jury, maybe you'll give me a little bit of a break. I don't know. Here it is. Okay, I did a video on the reason I became an atheist from being a Mormon. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. Guys walking on water and gold plates that disappear. Looked like the same team playing for me. Anyway, because I'm the Bard, I'm going to tell you the true story of Adam and Eve in the King James Version of the Bible. Now, Lightman, can you bring me down? That's it. Kind of like, who is it, Truman or someone that sat by the fire? That's before my time, but Fireside, what was it called? Fireside something, but some of you are older than I am. Tell me what the hell that was. But anyway, I want to tell you this story, so gather your children around, and this will be a family home evening activity. And the famous Alpha and Omega Bard is going to tell you the real story of Adam and Eve. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I was there. I was there. The Bard is very, very old, children. And I remember that Adam and Eve were brought down here to the earth, and basically what the Bible says is that God went down to the river and he made a whole bunch of mud and he put it in a big pile, and then he started to make a head and some arms and some legs, and he made this stick man out of mud. And then pretty soon God was very happy with himself. He left the stick man in the sun and it let him dry so that he could work with the stick man. Well, then he props the stick man up against a tree, and the stick man is right there because he wasn't alive, and God was unhappy about that. And God said, I'm going to breathe into you life. And the stick man goes, now he wasn't alive. He shouldn't have been able to do that, children, but he didn't want to become alive. And then God said, all right, I'm going to make another stick person out of your rib. Now, the stick man against the tree goes, he's really upset that God's going to, take a rib out of him. So God takes a rib out of him, and the guy's just hanging there by the tree now. And God said, okay, you're going to let me breathe a little life in you? And the stick man goes, yeah, breathe a little life in me, that's okay. And he said, hey, I made another stick person over here, and I'm going to call her a woman. Well, now, you have to remember, children, these were new people. They didn't know anything about life. Nothing about life. And so the stick man said, well, what's the difference between her, the stick woman, and me, the stick man? And God whispered in the ear of the stick man he called Adam. Well, after he started whispering, Adam just cracks up. He just cracks up. He goes, okay, okay. I don't know, children, what he said, but it certainly made Adam very happy. Now, God said, look, I'm going to give you these banana leaves. They're big, and they're going to cover up you being naked. And Adam said, well, God, I don't want to brag, but, that banana leaf is only going to do half the job. I need 2 banana leaves. And God slapped him a couple of times. Don't be smart with me or I'll make that thing smaller. And Eve is going, I need banana leaves up here too, God. So he gave her a bra of banana leaves. Okay, now, children, here's the important thing about Adam and Eve. In the Bible and in the Mormon temple, it says that Eve was the evil woman, and she took some of the apples off the apple tree, and she didn't put them out in the baskets where they were selling them by the roadside. When the cars went by, the old people would stop and buy the basket, but Eve ripped one of the apples off and she ate it. And Adam finds out, the girl, ripped him. So he goes over and he goes, "Hey man, this is abuse." She says, "There's no phones, you can't dial 911. So anyway, she stole the apple, and that made them realize that their fig leaves now were going to fall off. Well, what happened, children, it was a very, very nice sunset. And Adam was speaking softly to Eve and said, "Eve, you stole an apple." And she goes, "No, no, no." A lot of girls do that. They go, "No, no." So Adam didn't have a lot of experience. But anyway, the wind started to blow. Pretty soon, her fig leaves blew off. All of them. And Adam goes, "Hey, I know how to punish you for eating that extra apple." So his fig leaf fell off because he was running after her. Well, children, as you gather around here, the family fireside, here's what's important. These were the first two people ever invented by God, according to the Bible. Now, Adam is running through the forest, and Eve is running on the water. She learned that from Jesus before she came here. And Adam was trying to get her. He's on the beach a little bit in the forest, and she's running on the water. And finally he jumps in and he gets her. Now, I'm not going to go, children, into detail of what he did to her. But she was very happy. And she was screaming. But I don't think she was screaming because she was unhappy. But let your parents tell you that part of the story. Now, here's the problem. If you read the Bible, they're the first two people. Where'd the rest of us come from? Was there a spaceship that brought all the rest of us down here? No. So Adam and Eve had children. That's normal. He's the father. He belonged to a union. He is making a good salary, and she was an executive at a bank, Zion's Bank. And pretty soon, out comes Cain, out comes Abel, and a whole bunch of other kids all came out. Now, one thing we want you to remember always is about incest. That's a nasty word. See, when I say it, it just kind of makes me freeze up inside. In fact, my heart. Maybe that's, telling me that old heart surgeon, he didn't do as good a job as he thought he did. I'm not going to get my money back. I know that. It's hard to sue someone when you're dead. Anyway, they had a whole bunch of kids, and they're just like your family. They're all sitting around the tree, and Dad and Mom are saying, "Well, you kids are all growing up now, and you're going to have to start paying some rent." Of course, 3 or 4 of them started throwing fish and rocks at the parents. "You're not our real parents." And Adam says, "We have to be. There's no one else here, ass." So anyway, the teenagers did the same thing then, children, as they do now. And the parents do call them ass hats back then, just like we do today. Well, anyway, the parents said, "Well, you're going to have to start getting jobs." And then the kids started saying, "Well, Dad and Mom, we want to get married." And Eve, she fell off the rock. She was so surprised. And Adam said, "Well, who the hell do you think you're going to marry?" And the older boy there, he's looking over at one of his sisters, and he's going, "I ain't going into the forest with the monkeys and the donkeys and the deer. Mary Jane looks pretty cute to me." The parents rolled their eyes. They went to the left, the right, and Adam started beating the son with a stick, and Eve was throwing apples at Mary Jane. Well, it drove them out of the family, and they left. Well, 2 or 3 years later, they come back, and now they're holding the hands of 2 or 3 little more kids. So, I guess the brother married the sister, or the sister married the brother, and they had children. Well, all the other children now are looking and going, "Hey, they're multiplying. And they have a big smile on their face and they're multiplying. And their kid's as ugly as a rock, dumb as an orange, but, you know. So they said, Mom, Dad, you know, we think we ought to be able to move out too. And Jenny's looking pretty good to me, says Bobby. So now the parents are going crazy. Their kids are marrying each other and having children and having families. So Adam and Eve were beside themselves. They were really, really upset. And one night they were sitting around the campfire outside the cave, and Adam was talking to Eve, and he said, you know, we're both getting kind of old here, and our kids are marrying each other to repopulate, and we've been told that that's called incest, and they could do 1 to 20 years on that in most states. And she says, I know, dear, I know. And so pretty soon he looks at Eve, and he says, you know, you look a little heavy this month. Have you been eating a lot more apples and stealing from the family? He goes, well, no. He said, well, that looks a lot like a baby. And we haven't been together for over a year. Eve, whose baby is that? He says, well, the kids were doing it. Adam goes, one of the kids got you pregnant? Well, yeah. The whole family's screwing each other. So Adam, he sits there kind of quiet for a little while, and he goes, all right, I'm going to show you all. 5 of you younger girls, come on over here. Dad wants to talk to you. Now that's my story from the Bard in the first family. Now, I don't believe in incest, and I know, children, you don't. We don't marry our brothers and our sisters, and we don't marry our moms and our dads. But the Bible doesn't lie. The Bible is the truth. And Adam and his wife, Eve, the whole family were screwing each other. Now that makes you kind of sick to think about it, but think about this. We're their offspring and relatives. Ain't that a kick in the ass?